Open whatever AI you use. Right now, in another tab, I want you to ask it for something, and I want you to do it the way you normally would. Here's the task. Write a short internal announcement about a new coffee machine in the office. Send that. Then, one message at a time, add these. It is on the 3rd floor. It goes live on March the 3rd. The brand is Miele. Keep it under 60 words. Do not use the word excited. And make the last sentence a question. 6 messages, one thing at a time, the way a normal person talks. Go ahead, I will still be here. Got your answer? Good. Now read it once, slowly, and check the 6 things off. Under 60 words. The word excited, gone. Last sentence a question. March the 3rd. The brand. And the 3rd floor? If it is missing, you have just reproduced this entire video in 90 seconds. If it is there, run it again. It does not fail every time. That is exactly what makes it nasty. Now, the same 6 requirements again, but this time all in a single message. One block of text, everything at once. That version does not drop anything. Not sometimes, not at all. Same model, same words, same requirements. The only thing that changed is whether they arrive together or one at a time. I did not want to build a video on one lucky example, so I ran it properly. 2 different models, 2 different tasks, both orders of the requirements, 15 runs each. 720 individual measurements on my own machine, and the raw numbers are linked below. Everything in one message, 100% of the requirements met. 100, not 98. Spread across 6 messages, 83%. 17 points, gone. Roughly 1 requirement in 6. And the answer never once mentioned that anything was missing. Here is where it stops being a simple story. Of the 12 requirements I tested, 6 came through perfectly. 100% in both conditions. The date, the city, the brand name. No exclamation marks, not a scratch. And one of them fell from 100% to 23. So this is not a model getting tired or some slow slide into nonsense. Most of what you ask for lands exactly as it should. A small part of it silently does not. Which part? I was sure I knew. Twice. First guess, it loses whatever you said earliest. Because that never comes up again. That looked perfect until I reversed the order. Said last, the same requirement survived at 92%. But when I put a formatting rule into that same early slot, it came through at 100. So being early is not enough. Second guess, facts fall out, rules survive. A fact has to be carried forward. A rule reshapes the text every time it gets rewritten. That held for about a day. Then the full run came back, and the second worst casualty was a rule. Start the text with the word selling. Dropped 4 times out of 10. 2 theories. 2 dead ends. I could keep digging and probably find something. But the honest version is more useful than a neat rule. So here it is. You cannot look at your 6 requirements and tell which one is going to go missing. That is worse than a rule. A rule you could work around. This you cannot see coming and nothing will tell you. You get a fluent, confident, complete-looking answer with one of your instructions quietly not in it. A missing floor number in a coffee announcement costs you nothing. Move it somewhere real and it looks different. The clause you added in message 4, gone from the contract draft. The dependency you mentioned once, missing from the code. The allergy you named at the start of a long conversation about a menu. The one date that actually mattered in a project plan. Every one of those reads perfectly well. That is the problem. There is nothing to notice. So what is the machine actually doing? The researchers who ran this at scale put it in one sentence. Models, quote, make assumptions in early turns and prematurely attempt to generate final solutions on which they overly rely. In plain terms, after your first message, it writes a finished answer. Everything you add after that gets patched into that answer, instead of starting the job again. Patching is cheap and it usually works. But things fall out of a patch. And a rule that would require rewriting the whole thing only gets applied on the surface. It is not forgetting. The entire conversation is still sitting right there in front of it. Every single turn. It is committing early and then defending that commitment. 2 models on one desk is not proof of anything general, so the same effect has been measured properly. Salesforce research and Microsoft research, published last year. 200,000 simulated conversations, 6 different kinds of task. Same setup as mine. Everything at once versus the same thing spread across turns. Their number is a 39% average drop, and it showed up in every top model they tested, the open ones and the big hosted ones alike. So this is not my hardware, and it is not whichever model you happen to use. It is how these things work. The fix is annoying, and it is free. Collect first, send second. When you notice the fourth thing you forgot to mention, do not send it as a fourth message. Go back, write the whole request again with everything in it, and send that as one block. It feels wasteful. It costs you 15 seconds. If you are already deep in a conversation, ask it to restate every requirement it is currently working to, as a list. Whatever is missing from that list is missing from the answer. And now you can see it. And if the task actually matters, start a new chat with the full brief. Not because the old conversation is full, because it has already decided what it thinks you want. 4 things worth keeping. 1. Everything in one message, 100%. The same requirement spread over 6 messages, 83. 2. It is not a general decline. Most of what you ask for is untouched, and a small part silently is not. 3. You cannot predict which part. I tried twice and I was wrong twice. 4. And this is the one to actually use. Ask it to list every requirement it is currently working to. Read that list against your own. Whatever is missing from it is missing from the answer, and that works in the middle of a conversation, which is exactly when you need it. Rewriting the whole request as one block is better still, on the days you can. The raw numbers and the script that produced them are in the description, so you can run it yourself rather than take my word for it. Thanks for watching.